Following clip is going to help you understand a simple way to set up a geocaching course with your students. Obviously there's many ways to set this up. Through experience, I've done it many ways. I've spent hours coming out prior to a school meeting me, and I've gone around with all the containers and everything else that I've needed, and I've taken all the GPS units and I've marked them and you know, entered all the numbers in at times, or done it that way, and that can get pretty tedious. In my position, I had the time to do that in those cases, so I was, you know, spending an hour or so beforehand setting up, and through experience I came up with another way to do it, which does not diminish the experience for the kids. In fact, it probably adds to the experience because they're taking ownership for the course setup themselves. So I'll just walk you through it, and hopefully this will give you an understanding of how to set it up. So really, when you come to your area that you plan on doing this, it's just a matter of minutes for the kids to set up the course instead of you as the teacher. So a couple things that you need to understand. One, there's two icons on the GPS unit the kids need to be familiar with. One is the find icon, and the other icon itself is the mark icon. So just to give you a big picture of this, let's say where I am right now is the home position. This is going to be our meeting place. Maybe there's a picnic table. We have everything here. You know, this is the place where we'll always come back to. That's important for the kids to know. What I typically do with the students as a practice with learning how to use the mark icon is I'd get everyone in their groups with their GPS, and I would simply go to the mark icon. I would go up and rename it, and I'd rename it home, which I'll show you how to do that. You simply click on the default, which is probably 001 if there's not other waypoints in there already, and simply retype in what it is, hit OK, and then, like any other computer, before I leave this screen I better hit OK again on the main screen to save what I have. So once I've done that, I have now put home as a location in my GPS unit. Let's say we have it marked. So we have home base marked. So the idea is all the groups will take a cache that we've created and they'll go out and hide it. Like I mentioned in previous videos, I have boundaries of where kids can go, and I would show them those boundaries on a map. I would probably tell the kids before they leave, using the map as a reference, I'd probably say, okay, I want you guys to see where we are. This is home because I've marked it on the map. I want you guys to go over there. And then I want you there, and I want you guys to go hide there. I don't tell them exactly where to hide it, but this way I ensure that if I just say go, I might have 15 groups all go relatively to the same area. And for whatever reason, kids think that they've walked a long way sometimes if they've walked for 30 seconds. So they wouldn't be very far. So when it comes back to everyone trying to find everything, there's really no time needed to find them, and they're all in the same location. And likely what happens is as they're finding one cache, they're going to see someone else finding another, and there's just... So I'm at home base, I give my group, and let's say I'm the group, I take what I'm hiding and I take one GPS unit. It's good that we name all the caches. It could simply be numbers 1 through 10. So let's just, for the sake of argument, say I have cache number 5. Okay, and it's my job as a team to go hide this. I might have been told by my teacher a relative area where they want to go. So I take my GPS unit, I have it around my neck, whoever's leading it. As a group we're going to decide where we hide it, but one person is responsible to carry this. We carry cache number 5 with us. We know the rules of hiding it. We know the rules of where it should be hidden or where it cannot be. We know our boundaries, and we take off. Okay? We do not need to use this yet. So we take off on our little hike, and we're gone for a little bit, and perhaps we go and hide it behind a tree. You know, we'll just use, for sake of argument, let's say that I'm gone somewhere else. So I have my cache and I have my group. All right, so what I'm going to do is, first of all, we're going to find a place to hide it. Again, I still do not need to use my GPS unit. we agree on a place that's visible and in reach, and we place it there. Then I take my unit and I go to mark, and we recall what we're naming this cache. So we have to go up to the waypoint, change it from the default and name it this one. In this case we're calling it 5. Okay, so simply put the number 5 in, hit OK, and it's there. Halfway down the screen, the coordinates are there already. It has marked them, it knows where I am. So I simply only need to go down to OK, hit OK, takes me back to my main menu, okay, and now it's marked. I can go back with my group, leaving that GPS or that geocache there, go back to home base. I give the GPS unit back to the teacher, and that teacher can then double check by going to find waypoints and finds that 5 is there. By clicking on it, the teacher is told how far away it is. So if the teacher looks at it and it says 2 meters away, they didn't mark it right. And they'd have to go back, because if they didn't mark it where they were and hit OK, it ruins everything. So that's a key. You have to double check that they've marked it where they were. So I've had kids come back and say, we marked it, da da da. I look at the number and go, did you hit OK? I think I did. No, sorry. You got to go back and mark it correctly. So let's say it's marked correctly. They have hidden 5. So they are not going to go look for this one. But as other geocaches come back, I can take one and say, okay, I go to the find waypoints and it's got number 7 on it. And I leave them on the table for the kids to see it, or I have them ready to hand out and say, have you done 7? No, here's 7. Go ahead, go find it, come back. Once you have that, give me the GPS back or set it on the table, and then we'll find the next one. So then they go, okay, now I've got 5 because I hit it, and I've got 7 because we just went and found it. What's left? There's 2. We haven't done that, so no one's taken it. We take it and use it, and we come back after we found it, put it back, and technically everyone will then get to all the geocaches, find what they need, and then they can. So what this eliminates is the teacher going around and marking them all and carrying them all and placing them out. It helps the kids understand how to use these because they're learning how to mark for them. So if they know how to mark, they will be that much better on knowing how to find. And again, it gives them ownership for how it works. So just as a quick review, each group takes a GPS unit and the cache. They know the name of the cache. They leave home. They go and hide it. They mark it with the GPS unit. They come back leaving the cache there. They then take turns switching which unit. Each GPS unit has the coordinates to a different geocache. So in essence, each group is going to have to hold each unit that's being used that day in order to find everything. That's just a quick rundown. Hopefully that helps with the setup. Again, there's other ways to set things up, and you might choose to have a group go out and set it up on their own one day as a challenge or a part of their program. But this is just an easy way to involve kids through geocaching, but it doesn't take all your time up.